Hey everybody, welcome back to the Reality Wind Down, a podcast where we break down all the latest Bravo TV drama and the biggest pop culture moments of the week, one glass of wine at a time. I'm Chase.
I'm Cassidy.
Cassidy, I think we have someone to introduce to the Reality Wind Down family.
This is Topper.
If you're watching on our YouTube, we have a new member. He is sitting in Cassidy's lap. He's adorable. Tell us a little bit about your new child.
Chase was with me. We were doing a little Top Golf action.
I finally got to go to Top Golf. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast, but
Chase has been dying to go to Top Golf, y'all.
And there's no particular reason. I've never played golf. I've never been good at golf. I've never really wanted to play golf. But Top Golf, I've wanted to go. And I will admit, this is going to bring down my cool factor. Not that I'm trying to be cool or anything, but I mean...
Don't be all, like, uncool.
Yeah. I love bowling.
Oh, I love bowling.
Okay.
Oh, no. That's cool.
I love bowling and used to go bowling all the time as a kid. So this gives me bowling vibes, like, because you get your own little lane. You get your own, like, golf clubs, food, drinks. And you're outside. Because, like, I don't want to go to a bowling alley right now because, like, indoors and... Not a fan.
Of course.
But here, you're outside, you're in your own little lane.
They even put, like, plastic things in between it, which they didn't have before COVID, so you're, like, even more isolated.
Yeah, and they clean all your golf clubs. It was great. This is not an ad for Top Golf,
you
but...
were pretty good there for your first time, I must say.
Was I sore the next day from, like, twisting that much? Yes,
I hadn't golfed in a while, and I'm a former golfer, and I was very sore the next day, so you weren't alone.
But...
Back to Topper.
I was like...
Hint the name Topper. We found him at Top Golf. Guys, he was running on the field where people were hitting balls. Like, the staff was trying to get him off. I don't know why nobody came over the PA and was like,
I thought
hey
they
guys,
would.
Like, everyone stop hitting. There's clearly a dog on the field. People kept hitting, and he is a survivor. He made it out. I saw what was happening. I was like, okay, I have to go get involved and try to help this little dog. And thank God I did, because when I got over there, they basically had to shoot him off of the field. And he was, like, running around a parking lot, like, almost getting hit by traffic. It was awful. So I stayed out there with him for about an hour. And I finally got him to come to me. I finally wore him down, and the poor little thing had fleas.
In the meantime, me and Cassidy's fiance were just hitting golf balls.
Hitting golf balls.
Eating some chicken tenders. Essentially, me and her fiance were on a date while Cassidy was out rescuing life.
While I was out
and we're just like, oh, she's fine. We'll just continue to, like, play some rounds of golf, eat some food, maybe have another drink.
I went down there and I was like, I work with rescue groups. I'm going to try to get him. Like, where's the dog? And word got back apparently to Chase and my fiance that, oh, there's a lady out there who works with a rescue group that's helping get the dog. And my fiance was like, oh, thank God. Like, I'm so happy.
Well, let me tell this side of the story.
Yes, because
so
he was there and I just died at this part.
We wrap up, like, and we're like, okay, well, Cassie's been gone for, like, 30 minutes. So maybe we should go see if she's gotten the dog or just, like, check in. So we go and we see the manager and we're like, hey, like, we saw you trying to catch a dog. So do you know what happened? Is everything okay? She's like, oh, no. It's all great. There's a lady out there that works with a bunch of rescues, so it's all taken care of. And Jules comes back to me and, like, I'm, like, listening, and Jules comes over. He's like, okay, Cassidy didn't get the dog. A rescue came and got it. Everything's great. Well, we proceed to walk out into the parking lot. Cassidy comes around a car holding Topper. And Jules is like, wait, what? What happened? And I was like, well, I think she has a dog, and I think you have a new child. And he comes up, and Jules is like, I thought there was a rescue group. She's like, well, yeah,
I am the rescue group. Which isn't a total lie.
No.
All of my dogs have been rescues. We have another dog named Huxley. That's our other rescue baby. So now he has a little brother.
But also, you have worked with rescue groups. So I think this lady just took it
I was like serious.
Than
Well, no, I think I pitched it like hardcore when I went down there. I was like, I work with rescues. Like, where's this dog? But obviously we named him Topper because of Top Golf, and his middle name is Arnold Palmer for golf.
I mean, going full into the golf, but I wanted to introduce.
But I should point out that we did get him scanned for a microchip. We don't just steal this dog. We drove around. We made sure there's no signs out. We posted all over social media trying to find this dog's home.
We're still looking on lost dog sites.
Yes.
So we're doing everything, but in the meantime, she's gotten him, vaccinated, up to date with his health.
He had none of that stuff done, so we've done all of that, and he's getting neutered next week. He's getting castrated, aren't you, bub?
Another funny thing is, like, when we initially took him to get his, like, checked for a chip the day that we got him, or found him, The lady was like, oh, maybe like 4 to 8 years old, like blah, blah, blah. And then what do you find out?
Whenever we got him back from the vet yesterday, they were like, he is no older than 1 year old. So I was like, so we got a baby. And we are very happy about it, aren't we, Tom?
And he's a little chihuahua, so she's in for the long haul, which is a blessing.
That's what I'm here for.
That's a blessing.
Now we've got a big dog and a little dog in the house, and we're very happy about it. So welcome,
to
Topper, to the reality
cheers
wind
to you,
down.
Topper.
He's like, where's my drink?
I know, right?
But anyways, I think that we need to seriously get to the point right now. We need to get into hot takes. Guys, SHAH-king news.
SHAH-king.
What the hell is going on with Jen Shah? What did she do?
I think she did a little bit of everything, I think.
I mean, her and one of her many assistants, as we saw on the show, we saw Stuart Smith.
But hilariously enough, he's the one that was her sidekick the entire time. So clearly in cahoots.
He was literally the Clyde to her body. Like, this is insane. She's being charged with, like, 2 different counts of fraud and, like, to commit fraud. And, like, basically they were running a pyramid.
Telemarketing scams nationwide.
Running a pyramid scheme, like, scamming the elderly. Which, by the way, like, what kind of person goes after the elderly? Like, the lowest type of person.
Scam people that aren't needing their money as much, not the people that are old.
Well, like we said before when we talked about Dorit, we were like, Dorit just keeps scamming the rich somehow, and we don't know how they're getting all their money.
Fine,
that was fine with us, but not going after innocent people.
So essentially, have you kind of like gotten the breakdown of what she did? Because I have a loose idea, and I'll explain it really quickly. Of like, this is what I read.
I would love to hear your breakdown of it.
This is all.
We are not lawyers. We are not district attorneys. This is our version of what we've read.
We are just investigative reporters.
We're just Carol Radziwilling up in this bitch. So this is what we think went down.
Okay.
Our interpretation.
So legally, if you put in your information into a website that asks for, like, say, your name, email, phone number, and that company, if it's a valid company, can sell your data.
Okay.
That's legal.
Okay.
Fine, because you're putting in your information to get a service or more information or buy something or blah, blah.
Right.
You can...
Because whenever you, like, sign up for a lot of these things, you, like, click a check.
Yeah, like a free trial, you have to put in your information. So that company can legally sell your information.
Okay.
Well, what Jen was doing was setting up fake companies, fake websites, allegedly, and getting people's information, and that's not legal. You can't trick people into giving their information away.
Okay.
It has to be a valid, real company.
Okay.
Well, on top of that, she was also selling that information to known scamming companies.
Okay, because, like, the first part, that doesn't sound that bad. When you get into this, that's, like...
It's a double layer.
Horrible.
Yeah, so then she sells it to companies that are known for using your information to get all those annoying-ass calls that we get constantly, or phishing emails, or blah, blah, blah.
Maybe I fell for one of Jen Shah's scams, because I get calls all of the time.
Maybe, and I wouldn't be surprised, because my phone blows up 24/7.
Yes!
So that's kind of, like, loosely, there's probably way more details to it. As we said, not lawyers over here.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what she's in trouble for.
I mean, that broke it down pretty good. I didn't think that I've really read that layer of it. I've just heard, like, the actual charges and all of the, like, she can't move more than $10,000 between funds without a lawyer's permission right now.
I would be shocked if she has $10,000 to move.
I know, right? I mean, they can't leave the state, definitely can't leave the country. Loads of things now that she is, like, on lockdown.
I mean, I have to ask. Are you surprised?
I feel like if we went back through our podcast episodes when we first started meeting Jen and stuff, how many conversations did we have about her wealth, like, doesn't make sense? Like, she'd be like, I run marketing companies. I run, like, I developed something. And remember when Heather Gay was like, no, she's, like, rich. Like, she is so successful in this. I bet Heather now was, like, hitting herself in the head with a pan.
Distancing myself from this.
Oh, I was wrong.
Because I, as you just said, I think we had mentioned it. I know that I've thought, and I think we've talked about multiple times, that if you're a housewife coming on the Housewife show that has a company, you hawk that constantly.
Yes.
All you're talking about is your business, what you do, what you're selling, because this is your platform. It's your one chance to be on national TV, to sell your product, sell your business, whatever.
Hello, Lisa Barlow, Vita Tequila, the Wolf Company for her son.
And the juxtaposition of Lisa doing that and Shah not doing it is, like, clear as day that she was doing something shady.
Yeah.
Because there's just no way that she wouldn't be hawking her company if it was real.
I completely agree. And adding on to that, we always say with housewives, why would you come on when you're doing an illegal, shady business anyways?
No sense.
Like Teresa, Erica Jane, you guys know you're being fishy, and you come onto the show, and you think you're not going to get caught.
You actually put a poll on our Instagram. And I mean, a general consensus was narcissism. She's a narcissist.
A lot of people who were like, I'm a tax auditor. I'm like this person. Yeah. It's completely people who are so narcissistic. They genuinely think they're above the law, and they genuinely think they'll never get caught. Yeah. And we were just like,
well,
makes sense.
Before we move on, I do just want to say, I think we'll get a little bit of it in the season because the gossip is that she was with the ladies ready to go on a cast trip to Vail. And she got a call, told the ladies that Sharif was in the hospital and left. And within 5 minutes, allegedly the police showed up to the van.
They were at Beauty Lab and Laser, I think.
Yeah, because they were all getting ready to leave.
Yeah.
And the cops showed up there.
Yeah.
And apparently they were filming. The cops talked to the ladies. And then soon after she was arrested. So I think we'll get a full... It's going to be black and white, freeze frame, all of this. And it's going to be like cut to... all the ladies on the phone getting a call, or they're all going to go on this trip right after and be talking about it.
Everyone's going to be talking about except for Meredith, because she'll just disengage the entire time.
Maybe this is the one that she'll engage and be like, oh, I already knew this.
I hope so. That would be amazing. But I'm very excited to see how this plays out on next season. I wish it was like right around the corner. I know it's going to be at least 4 or 5 months till we get it. But
at least. Because now it's like I feel like they're going to have to reevaluate how they're even filming the show.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how do you even do it?
We'll see. We'll see. But we do have to touch on a second hot take real quick. Today, the pictures of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion looks dropped. And they are recreating the dungeon.
Especially Candy.
Ooh, what did you think? Who was your favorite?
I don't really know. Like... Portia,
I'll tell you, Candy's was my least favorite.
It was too. I like that she was trying to go for something different and like sexy and like the leather like skin tight look, but it doesn't make sense for a reunion.
Yeah,
so like that confused me. I loved Portia because Portia just looked beautiful, but I feel like we've seen that dress before. Yeah, and kind of all of them are kind of like looks that I feel like we've seen.
I really liked Marlo's look. I saw on like a exclusive like friend of pictures. Marlo looked amazing, and I hate saying this because I am no Kenya stan, but Kenya looked... Oh. I mean, Kenya's beautiful. She's just, like, crazy.
So it's like, yeah.
But she looked gorgeous, and it, like, she had, like, her hair pulled back. It was a very pretty look. But I'm excited for the reunion.
I'm really excited. I mean, we still have some episodes left to go with
Probably,
Atlanta.
4 or 5 more episodes and then we'll get the reunion.
But it was an interesting choice, I think, mainly on Candy's part. Yeah. Because she sticks out, too.
It was
which maybe was, like, the point. It was like, oh, I want to do something completely different than just, like, a gown. So, like, I respect trying to take a chance, but it just doesn't really work.
I feel like she was just styled by Don Juan, and I'm not into it.
Don Juan just does everything for her.
It's not cute. It's not cute. I'm not into it.
I love the idea that Don Juan just, like, is kind of like the Mikey.
Oh my god,
honestly,
he totally
better
is.
Paid. I mean, we know that
better
now.
Paid because he actually does way more.
His checks
He's
don't
like
bounce.
running like 4... Oh! The check's not bouncing. Oh my god, it's funny because it's true.
Really quickly, the whole Erica drama stuff, I think at this point, they're selling that mansion. There's like apparently like $65 million plus in debt. Like there's this whole. It's getting. We need to do more of an update on that. I haven't honestly looked too much of it because I just don't really care about Erica's drama, and I hate this whole like teaser of the Beverly Hills franchise being like, she's finally gonna speak it all. She's gonna be the rawest ever. I'm like, she's probably gonna like tear up once and be like, oh my god, groundbreaking.
I don't see her mention it at all by any means.
So I haven't really like invested much, but I did see just like a little thing where they're just like they're clawing at the thing, and then she's gonna. We know she's gonna play the victim.
We shall see how that unfolds. Yeah. I'm not keeping my hopes too high for that one.
Me either. But speaking of mansions and houses,
good
our
transition.
Game for the week is actually gonna be a little Real Houses of Bravo. Where
Real Houses, Real Housewives, because $1 Million Listing New York trailer dropped. It comes back May 6th. We have our first ever woman realtor on Real Houses of New York. I'm
Real
excited.
Housewives of New York.
Oh my god, guys, did I just black out?
She's talking about Ramona, who is actually a real estate agent.
Oh my god, I forgot that. I got too excited to get into the game. Sorry.
So we have the
on
first
$1 Million
lady.
Listing, the first lady will be on, and I'm excited. So we thought we would play this fun little game in honor of the trailer dropping.
Yeah.
So I have picked 4 houses for Chase to look at, and he has picked 4 houses for me to look at, and we have to guess who it belongs to. It'll all be Real Housewife, current Real Housewife.
Yeah, it's current.
So
oh shit, I didn't do current.
You didn't do current? Okay, is it a hard one?
No,
now?
mine are actually, like, I think they're pretty easy.
Okay.
I forgot about the current aspect of it.
Okay.
So I did mess up on that.
Okay, that's okay.
Hey, well, let's go forward and see what happens.
Okay, let's go for it. So if you're listening on the podcast, we will try to describe it as best as possible. If you're watching on YouTube, we will put up a picture of the houses that we're each showing each other. All right, I just showed Chase's first house. It's kind of a white brick, very large, big grass out front. We will put a picture up on our YouTube, so definitely head to Reality Wind Down on YouTube.
Do we happen to know how many bedrooms and bathrooms?
We do happen to know how many.
Because I have an idea of who it is.
Who is it?
It is Jen from Real Housewives of New Jersey.
100% nailed it. Ding, 1 point.
Isn't it 12 bathrooms? 7 bed, like something crazy like that.
I think it's like 14 bathrooms.
And also, do you remember when she first came on her first season? Like, she's like bragging about this mansion she has, blah blah blah. And we walk in, there's like not any furniture in there.
It was not.
It's just marble and cold and like
gaudy.
nothing.
It's so gaudy.
It was like so. I just don't understand. Like, I believe that she has a lot of money and that's great. But if you have a lot of money, decorate your damn house.
Money can't buy you taste. Money can't buy you taste. It cannot buy you either.
Can't buy you furniture apparently either.
Ooh, all right.
Okay, I'm showing you your first house. It's a little gothic. It is massive. It's on the side of a hill in Beverly Hills. I'll give you that. And she was a 1-season housewife.
Carlton Jebba. You said gothic, and I was like, it's clearly Carlton's house. Because when I first looked at it, I was like, I don't know. But it is definitely Carlton. Jebba. I never know how to say her last name. Apparently the richest housewife, as we learned from one of our previous games.
And it also ties into the fact that we're doing this in honor of $1 Million Listing, because I think last season her husband sold it for $20 million.
You're right. I completely
with I think Josh Altman.
I think that's right. Yeah, that sounds right.
So
ooh, nice.
See, this is a problem because I did even 1-season Housewives.
That's okay.
Not even just not current Housewives. 1 season.
The fact that you told me the gothic and then you were like 1 season, then that was fair.
I'll give you a little bit more
help.
hints because of the non-current aspect of it.
Here's your next one.
I already know her.
And he knows.
Describe her a little bit for the pod.
It is kind of a traditional, it has 4 columns out front. Large, of course. It's not going to be a small house. Beautiful greenery out front.
I would say she's in the suburbs.
In the burbs.
She loves it, but not close to the city. And her name is Portia Williams.
Nailed it. No, I knew Chase was going to be so good at this game because he loves a bit of real estate. Used to be a real estate agent.
I was like, my past life, New York City. I was a real estate agent.
Amazing.
Did not love her, but I still like real estate.
Amazing.
So we will go to your second house.
Yes. 2 points for Chase. This is his hottest start ever.
You got a good look at it?
Yes, this looks very familiar.
It's very familiar. She's very rich, as we know.
Was she a 1 season or 2 season?
No, she was not a 1-season wonder.
Was she an early season Beverly Hills housewife?
Early season Beverly Hills.
Do you want to describe the house a little bit?
I mean, it's actually pretty traditional, but just massive. There's a fountain in front.
Like the circular
it's gated,
drive.
Circular drive. You can clearly see it's like 20,000 square feet.
Is she maybe a part of the Maloof dynasty?
I would think she's a Maloofer.
Is it Adrienne Maloofhoof? Is that what you're going to say? The Maloofhoof.
You took it right as I was about to say it. You said it.
Who is Adrienne Maloof in this world? That's like my favorite Yolanda line ever.
Yes, it's the Maloof hoof.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, so, she had that... It's like a pretty house, but it's just huge. All it is it's huge. It's like, there's not much to it besides it's a mansion.
Here you go.
Okay. Okay, I already know her. See, I'm good. I knew this game was going to be the one that was for me.
Killing it. It's like a pale yellow, very large. Looks like a vacation home.
Would she maybe be in the Hamptons?
Maybe in the Hamptons.
Would she have maybe a tennis court in the back? a pool.
A large pool.
Maybe on a little bit of water.
I can't believe how good you're doing on this one, because this one kind of like, I was like, this might be the one that throws him.
Is it Ramona Turtle Time Singer?
It's Turtle Time. It's Ramona. You nailed it. You were killing it. Chase is 3-2 right now.
We finally found the game that I'm like thriving on. This one's actually very hard.
No! Oh my god, show me.
It's so hard.
Oh, I know this one.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I'm not going to describe it.
Is it Beverly Hills?
It is.
Is it Brandi Glanville?
Yeah.
I don't know why that her house, like, I think it's because she was on a season, not that it's not a very nice house or anything, but she was on a season where the houses were so, like, gargantuous, and then, like, Brandi's house was always, like, a more normal, still probably $1 million, it's Beverly Hills, LA, we know how expensive it is.
Yeah, it's still a very nice house. It's just, like, a more traditional, like, ranch style.
Yes.
And it's, like, as we're talking about, like, we're going from Adrienne Maloof has a 20,000 square foot house to Brandi's, which is just, like,
a normal house.
A normal cute house.
Still nice.
But it's just, like,
It's funny that you said that, but I don't know why I always specifically remember her house. Okay, your last one.
Okay, I'm ready.
I feel like you're going to crush it.
Is this a trick question?
No, it's not a trick question.
Huh.
It's like, okay, so
it's definitely in like Jersey.
It's a traditional house. It's a 2-car garage. A nice little entryway. I'd say probably 3,000 square feet or so. Cute.
Interesting. This is the only one I'm very unsure about.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so this is the one that's... I thought you would know this one.
The reason why I said it was like, is it a trick question? Because I was like, is this the fake Joe Gorga flip house?
No, that actually would... Oh, I wish I would have done that, because I did East Coast ones for him and he did West Coast for me. Oh, I wish I would have done a growing with Gorga property.
She's on the show right now?
Yeah.
That's a current housewife's house?
Yes.
Are you sure?
100%.
Like, I'm thinking of all of the ones on Jersey, and I'm like, that's definitely not one of their houses.
Is it not?
I don't think it is.
Do you have a guess?
I know what Marge's looks like. I know what Teresa's looks like. I know what, obviously Melissa's looks like. I know what Dolores's looks like. Yeah, whose house is that?
Now I feel unconfident. Google said this was Dolores' house.
No, that is not Dolores' house.
I swear it says this is Dolores' house. Oh my god, maybe I cocked up.
I know. Okay, we're gonna show the one that she thinks is Dolores' house. It is not Dolores' house.
It said this was Dolores'
Dolores
house.
is a red brick house with like a traditional like 4 windows in the front and like an entryway.
No, this is her house.
It just can't be.
Okay. Oops, my bad. So it turns out we did a quick little pause for some research. I chose Dolores' house that sold in 2019.
I'm pretty sure it was a flip house, which you know what, real estate icon.
No, that was her home. It said that she lived in until 2019. Then she sold it, and then she bought the red brick one, which makes sense because then her and Frankie started flipping it. We will show both, but I messed up a little bit. So if I get this next one right, we'll tie. If I get the next one wrong, I lose.
Okay, we have an aerial shot of this house for you. You got a good look? You got a good view? It's big. It's huge. It may be the same house I already showed you.
You already showed me this. Is that not
No, it actually isn't, but it's funny because you'll know why it's similar. And actually, you should remember why it's similar.
Was it across the street from Adrienne's? Is it LVP's old house? Yeah. Okay, because I was like, that is not Villa Rosa. No. All right, guys, we tied in that game. That was fun. A little bit of a shit show. Very much here for it. You guys know we're a shit show.
Trick question. Dolores' flip house or something.
It was not her flip house, okay? It was her house that she sold.
I still stand by that it's her flip house.
I'm going to do some more research on this, and I will take it to Instagram, and I will show you guys that it was not her flip house, okay?
Maybe you could put a poll. It's like, which house is Dolores' house?
I'm just going to go back and watch the season from like 2018, and I'm going to see if she's living in that house. And I'm coming back with hard facts.
I bet you it's the red brick house.
I bet you it's not. Okay, all right.
Can we bet a shot? Because we always bet. So we're going to bet.
We don't need to shake. We'll just cheers.
We'll cheers. It is a red brick house from the beginning.
It is this house with a 2-car garage on the left from the beginning, and then she moved.
Cheers to that.
We'll see. It's time for Dallas. Are you ready?
I am.
Oh, your face.
I just don't know. Dallas is really not. It's not really holding me in place right now. You know.
I would say the first half of this episode was. We'll just touch on a few points of it. I mean, Stephanie's planned a trip to Broken Bow, Oklahoma, her hometown. The one part I did think was funny is whenever they start interviewing all the girls who are like, who goes to Oklahoma? Like, we've never been to Oklahoma. Why would I go? Yeah. I just thought about Vicky on Orange County when Brianna moved to Oklahoma, and she literally talked so bad about it.
Isn't it just tornadoes?
Forever. She bashed it so hard. She cried. She screamed. I was like, I thought of Vicky when they were all bashing it. But we also have to mention Tiffany and her twins.
I was to say that was like one of the cutest moments. Was like
her daughters are so cute.
They're so cute. And they did a little tea party with just like them two.
Girl, that is not
Tiffany.
A little.
That's true.
They went to her hotel.
The suite of the hotel.
The suite for the
I apologize.
Gorgeous,
a big tea party.
I mean, this was a tea party that Lisa Vanderpump would have been proud of. It was like
true.
Pink and like tea, cake, crumpets, all of the above. Crumpets. I was like, I want to go. Like, how did I get the invite there?
I know. I was like, I don't even like. I want like, you know, more food.
Well, her one twin literally said, oh my God, my favorite food's caviar. And she was like, yes, sweetie, mommy bought you an ounce of Russian caviar. And the mom was like, it's like $100 for one bite of that.
Have you ever had caviar?
Yeah. And it's
I haven't. And I'm like, am I missing something?
I've had it a couple times. And each time to me.
Okay, the class.
I've never had it on a potato chip like Pat from Southern
Money can buy Cassidy class.
Caviar. Actually, it was never any time that we had bought it. It was when other people had brought it to like a party.
Well, why would you buy it?
Why the hell would I?
I'll try it if someone has it, but I just can't imagine spending money.
It was situations like that at a party. And it just tastes like little bursts of salt. And like
I would like that then.
I also have the palate of a 5-year-old. Like I have like the palate. I have nothing in common with Cam Westcott other than her palate. Like I like to eat like a 5-year-old.
Cassie's like, put ranch on it. I'm good.
Yeah, that's what I asked for when they went by with the caviar. Can I get a dollop of ranch on top, please? No creme fraiche for me, just ranch.
Hey, can you imagine ranch?
Yeah, please. That's what I order with everything. But no, that's my only encounters with caviar.
But it was cute, and I love that. I think she's like 4, 5.
I think they were turning 5, maybe. And I love that
they has a very sophisticated palate.
I love that they don't talk much. They're very shy, but they're like so cute, and they'll make funny comments.
Yeah, because as they say, they're super confident. They don't have to say much, but when the camera's on them, they're like really expressive and just kind of like, you know that they're like fine being there.
The grandma asked, oh, does your mom look so pretty getting dressed? And she's like, no. Like, I was just like, I mean, obviously Tiffany looked amazing.
Also, the pink eyeshadow and the lips that the daughter got. Tiffany was like, maybe that's a little too much. And the girl was like, I was like, you're rocking it. It kind of did remind me of that meme. Like, you remember that girl like in the back seat in her car seat and she put like her own makeup on? Yes. And she's like sitting there like this.
Yes, all over the way. She's like a fake eyelash on like her eyebrow and like lipstick everywhere. Oh my God, I wish I would have thought of that. That's so funny. But you get to see a little bit more of the comments that Tiffany has made about her mom being true.
Yeah.
She's kind of like, you know, I'm ultra sensitive about these comments she makes. Most people that meet my mom are like, she's lovely, she's so great, she's this. And I just know that it's like a deeper dig and there's deeper meaning to the things that she's saying. Like, what did she say? Like small little things. Oh, are you getting your benefits still? Whenever she's talking to her about that, and she's like, well, I get 80% of them. She's like, no, your health insurance. Like that whole conversation, you could tell the mom was trying to be a little bit...
It was just an uncomfortable, like, it's clear that they both are uncomfortable talking to each other.
Yes.
And the communication is there, but in a very, everyone's tippy-toeing around each other. You can see that, and you can kind of, and she talks to Mama Dee later about this, and it's kind of just like, I feel like our relationship's so surface, and it's like, you see that here?
Yeah.
And you can just tell that, like, Tiffany's trying to not have that relationship with her daughters. Right. Because obviously she's like, I'm so excited to have my one day off now. I can spend
my time
their birthday,
with them,
like, on the actual day, not on the weekend. So
100%.
She's at least trying to break the cycle if the cycle is, like, clear in there, which from Tiffany's side is clearly there. And I think, as you said, this scene, we're seeing a little bit more of, like, okay, maybe they are a little cold. Like in I think it's just
culturally though too, like she's like grown up here now, Tiffany, so she has kind of more like she's just super like American. Tiffany like has been here since she was 5 now, so she's trying to have maybe more of that as opposed to like she's like, I am a tiger mom, but I'm not a tiger mom. Yeah, she gets
to kind of like enjoy both cultures now.
Right.
Like, she gets the best of her Chinese culture growing up and also the best of like, I can raise my daughters any way I want to because I don't have to stick to a traditional you know, upbringing for my children. So it's nice. It's like, you know, you get the best of both. And I think she's taking good qualities from both.
She's like Hannah Montana. She gets the best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds. In and out to the show. And rock out the
You messed up the lyrics so you threw me. I was about to slide right in there. Anyways, back to Dallas. just gonna drop this here really fast. Brandi and D'andra have a little FaceTime conversation, which will come up later. But they FaceTime, they decided to meet up because things ended really awkward after the whole religion conversation. So keep that in mind. They have planned to meet up later in the episode, okay? Then the whole situation with Court and Cam, I don't care. I'm sorry.
What? Another privileged white woman buying a $7 million house? And she's being, like, told by her husband that she's not getting her other house? It's like, okay.
She's literally, like, throwing a fit about it whenever he says in the car. Basically, he tries to do this whole surprise. If you haven't watched the episode and you're just listening to the recap, he tries to just do, like, a little surprise where he wants to go and take her into the house right when he's about to get the keys to buy it, but tell her that, like, the offer was going through on their house they already had, so they couldn't buy the dream home yet. So they're on the way to see this dream home, and Court says, like, we're having these issues. We don't think we're going to be able to sell anymore. Right as they're about to walk into the new house, because she basically starts throwing a fit in the car. She's like, I don't want to go there. Why are you laughing at me?
I'm laughing because I'm hoping that you do the impression of Court that you're
doing
on the couch.
What did he say again? Because I don't remember. He said...
He's like, it's your house, babe.
Yeah, that's what it was like that. Okay, I'll do it. Okay. Okay, I'll do that.
And it's already preparing for it, and it's just so good.
I wish I didn't write down what he said, did I? No? Damn. Okay. So they get to the new house, and on the way there, he says that it's fallen through. They don't think they're going to be able to get this house. And Cam immediately starts acting like a brat. Let me out of the car. I didn't want to go see this house. What's the point of going to see this house? And his voice, like, did a weird little break there whenever he was telling her that. I was like, okay, that was kind of odd, but whatever. Then they get to the actual house. They're walking up. And he's like, remember when I proposed to you and I said, I don't need to get you a ring because I already have the ring? Then his voice gets a little shaky there, and he goes, I bought the house. I was like, is he crying? Like, did he just have an aneurysm? What is happening there?
I don't know what happened.
We got the house.
But we both were, like, very uncomfortable. We were like,
We stopped and we stared at each other, and then we just bursted out laughing. I guess maybe he was nervous about buying his spoiled wife a $7 million house and surprising her with it. Sorry, $7.5 million, closer to 8, actually. We're rounding up. But... amazing.
And the
house
is okay.
The house is like, of course, it's a $7.5 million house in Texas. Like, you know what you can get in Texas for?
It's a mansion.
We live here. You can get an amazing house for $500K. You can get pretty much a mansion. I mean, they got a $7.5 million, so I can't imagine all of the bells and whistles.
It had no backyard. I mean, we're already
maybe
there was
I'm in the real estate mode,
so now I'm like, let's talk about her real estate.
Maybe there was a bigger backyard around the sides, but we just saw like the courtyard area with the pool. Courtyard, I wonder if they call it that with a K.
What a comedian.
What a comedian. She's so funny. Anyways, we're over it. We don't care. We're not spending too much time on the house. Congratulations. We don't care. And I feel like most people felt the same on Twitter.
I mean, everyone was like, get bored by like a...
Also, the height of the pandemic, and you guys are bragging about buying a $7.5 million house.
I know, people are struggling, so...
Yeah, I can't with that. But I thought this was funny too when Carrie is making Jello shots with her daughter.
Yeah.
And her daughter like basically is like, did people used to do a lot of these in the 90s and 80s? And I think we felt very attacked as millennials. And she also said,
I was like, girl, we did Jello shots like a couple months ago.
Well, Carrie said, oh, it's really like, it'll be like big on like a Sunday fun day. And she was like, what does that mean? What are you talking about? She's like, a darty? And I was like, is this another Gen Z thing? Because I cannot deal with this shit. Apparently, that's what they call it now. They don't Sunday fun day anymore. They darty, a day party. Yeah. If we want to give them
I don't know why that just immediately reminds me of like a shart.
I was...
I don't know why.
I don't know. Because you're used to sharting after a Sunday fun day. Like,
it's just like darty just sounds like
it's a gross,
dirty, which sounds like shart.
Word. Like, now that you said that, I was like, I wanted to start calling our day drinking darties, but now we can't call it that anymore because I'll just think of chasing shark. So, here we are.
I apologize. It just is like, Sunday Funday already has a great ring to it.
I don't know why
it's done as great for years. Can we just keep that?
I mean, speaking of a darty, a dirty dog, we get to D'andra. She's doing like a cute little date night for Jeremy. She sets the fire alarm off. The cops come, whole thing. But whenever
was this a porn film?
It kind of felt like the first
happening. It was.
It felt like the first, and it did kind of turn into one because they ended up in the pool, and she says, "I just want to take our clothes off and have sex." Yeah, she said it.
We've all seen that porn.
He also said, I think they're so sweet. I do love their relationship.
I actually do too.
It's so cute. But some of the things that Jeremy says are just so cringy. Like whenever he walked in and she was like, I left you the oysters over there because you said you're so good at shucking oysters. He was like, I'm good at shucking something else. And she was like, what? I'm good at shucking panties off. I was like, oh No, don't say that.
I just don't like that.
It's
definitely a comment I probably would make.
It's like, it's totally, you'd be like shucking panties off. I can shuck those boxers off. It's literally such a you line. That's why you hate it.
I hate being put a mirror in front of my face and having to admit it's me.
He's like, hate it. Oh my God, I love myself. What are you talking about? That line for me was just a lot.
I can't imagine being in front of a camera and be like, I'm going to shuck those panties off later. I really couldn't.
I would really die. Imagine like 2 producers and 4 cameramen standing around you and your man walks in and is like, I can't wait to shuck those panties off of you. I would be like, and we're cutting.
I turn right over.
Bravo, fucking bravo. Like, we're done. Jake takes his pants off. He's like, let's do it then. I've been waiting all day.
I was like, oh, wrong crew? Okay, sorry.
Sorry, guys. This is the porn crew. This is the Bravo crew. All right, sorry about that. Okay. Anyways, Tiffany, we talked about it earlier, her mom and stuff. She goes over to talk to Mama Dee and she just has a conversation with her.
I do like the relationship that they have.
Well, she says, you're my second mom, basically.
Yeah, and it is interesting. I think we've said this before, and they say it on the show a couple times, but like, she's actually known Mama Dee longer than she's known D'andra.
Yes.
So
it is a closer friendship there, really. But yeah, she talks to her about it and she just has a fear that if she opens up to her mom and has this conversation that she's going to be rejected by her, and Mama Dee is just really giving her a lot of positive reinforcements and encouraging her to at least try. So I think that'll be a part of the season for sure that we'll get into.
I mean, I have enjoyed getting to know Tiffany in the sense of like her career, her family, her mom drama, but I would like to see it wrapped up a little bit because because it's like for her own like I think like she's opened up. I think either it needs
to be one way or the other. Either she needs to decide like, well, her mom's going to agree that she wants to be closer and she wants to help her out. Because in this scene, she does say, whenever I got pregnant, my mom said, I want to like retire and help you take care of the baby. But whenever it was twins, she was like, that's too much for me. I can't.
Yeah, and she wasn't happy that one of the twins wasn't a boy.
Yeah, like, her family wasn't happy.
It's a relationship that's hard to understand.
I get what you're saying. You're like ready for her own sanity to either get it like good and get it like to a more positive place and to a place that makes her happier. Yes. Stop weighing so heavy on her.
Because I feel like a lot of times it's like Tiffany has also been hesitant to open up to the group.
Yeah.
And like, it's hard to like come into a group and be like the outsider and like, everyone already knows each other, so she's the new girl.
Yeah.
So I think when she deals like with her personal life, like her job stuff gets handled, her mom's stuff gets handled, I think she'll open up to the group more.
I agree.
And feel just like, I don't know, not
free.
There will be nothing weighing her down.
She'll be lighter. She'll be
So
free.
that's what I mean by that. It's like maybe just wrap that up because I feel like if she's coming on, and I hope she gets a second season, it'd be great to see. I think she'll just come in like guns ablaze and just be like, I'm ready to party. I figured all my shit out. Let's go.
I'm gonna stop letting these other people dictate my happiness.
There you go.
For sure. And then we get into the meat of the episode, the part that we are really here for, what you guys have been waiting to talk about. Page 6 strikes again.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so Brandi and D'andra were about to go meet, and Brandi gets an alert on her phone as she's Googling how to drive RVs, which, by the way, I can't believe she's going to drive the RV on this trip. I can't believe she's responsible for that. Insane. She gets a text, or she gets a Google alert that D'andra talked to the press, basically, and said, at the beginning of the new season of The Real Housewives of Dallas, fourth wall down, kind of, we will hit the nail on the head. First thing, we're going to talk about Brandi's racist video. We're going to get into it. We're not tippy-toeing around.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened on this season. We jumped right into it, and I think
verbatim
there was no other way that it could have happened. I would have been annoyed, and I think everyone would have been annoyed if we acted like it didn't happen and tried to have fun at the beginning of the season. It's like, no, we need to address what happened
because it's disgusting. We need to get in and talk about it. We need to let Brandi know that she's
D'andra said wrong. Exactly what was happening.
D'andra did nothing wrong in this instance.
I don't think she did anything wrong.
But Brandi, hardcore, goes a victim. She sends a text to D'andra. I am disgusted. I no longer want to get together with you. I'm not coming over. I want nothing to do with you. This is ridiculous. And D'andra gets it, and she sets her phone down. She's like, I didn't do anything wrong. She goes to go upstairs. You could tell she's just like having a moment.
Well, she's kind of like, how did I become the bad guy?
She's like, I am pissed off right now. D'andra says in her confessional, since when did talking about the racist video become worse than actually doing the racist video? Like, how? I was like, boom, mic drop, done. All you need to say, completely accurate. And pretty much the next scene, they all get to Stephanie's, I think, because they're getting ready to go to Oklahoma. And right off the bat, Brandi makes a comment after she comes in dressed like a bus driver because she's driving the bus. She decides to call D'andra out immediately. Like, I'm hurt by you. Like, I'm so pissed off at you. And, like, D'andra's kind of laughing. And I would be laughing, too. It's like, okay, are you kidding me right now?
Like I'm not even, taking this on.
I'm more of an issue than you doing it whenever I said nothing wrong. Like, D'andra's standing by what she said in the interview. I would stand by what I said in the interview. She said absolutely nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Brandi's like, I became clickbait and I started getting bullied again. It's like, I don't know what brain cells Brandi has because I don't think she has many. The fact that she sits there and makes herself the victim on this is absolutely insane. I have no tolerance for it.
Because what I don't understand is why she couldn't just be like, yeah, we are going to address it head on.
Yeah.
Like, I did this. I'm happy we're addressing it. It needs to be addressed. Yeah. I'm learning.
Done.
Let's move on.
Done. Instead of sitting there being like, I've become clickbait, I'm getting hate, blah, blah, blah. Then get off social media. Like, if you can't handle it, the reaction to something that you've done, then get off social media.
I mean, get off reality TV.
Get off. And she is now, so. Anyways, D'andra's like, I feel like everyone's ganging up on me. Carrie's like, just apologize for what you did, D'andra. You were wrong. Carrie's taking any opportunity going on D'andra again. Everyone's telling her, like, everyone thinks that you, like, aren't, like, a trustworthy person in this group. D'andra's like, if you all feel this way, I don't need to go on the trip. Dun, 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 to be continued. So I think she's going to go on the trip.
I mean,
she did nothing wrong. I'm like Team D'andra on this to a freaking T.
She'll go on the trip. It was annoying, and I think you actually brought this up first. It's like, we didn't even get any of the RV trip on this episode.
The episode was called RV Having Fun Yet, and we have not been on the RV.
And what a good pun for it to not even be accurate.
Should have been. Maybe they messed up the titles, and that was supposed to be next week.
I don't know.
This week's is going to be like, next week's episode is going to be like clickbait something, and it should have been like this week's title. Like,
are we not having fun yet?
Are we not? Whatever every time we say V, I think of Walter. Walter is very upset from Salt Lake City. Sorry, I had to go there. But that was Dallas this week, and we will see on the to be continued how it goes.
Yeah, hopefully this trip is fun. We're going to the shore, bitch!
We're going to Jersey Shore, bitch, in the words of Snooki.
Hopefully I get another dildo.
Are you ready to head back to Jersey?
I am. You know what? I love the shore. I love Jersey, and I love a blow up.
Guys, this episode, like last week I loved the episode because it was so like fun and this and that. This week is like, it brought us throwback classic Jersey family drama.
Well, it just truly shows why Jersey has stayed at the top of the franchises for this many years.
Yes. It's a different dynamic. It's the family dynamic.
And we've always said we like that. Like, we have talked about multiple times, or at least we have off the pod. It's like, core of Housewives are friendships, family, and tight relationships. When that starts to fray,
real long-term relationships,
it doesn't make sense anymore.
When you start forcing people together, it's bizarre.
It doesn't make sense anymore. We can also say that when we had twins, Siggy Flicker, stuff like that. But those were the rough years. We're back
But at
now.
least Teresa did know Siggy. So, like, there was some connection there. But, yeah, the twins completely. We are back. But this episode kicks off. We are right where we left off. Dolores' house, having dinner. Teresa storms off the bed. She's like, I'm done after this comment that Jackie made about, did you learn that in prison?
The roller coaster of, like, me liking and hating Jackie is so intense. Because I go up and down this entire
Where are you at this episode? Oh, you go up and down this whole episode.
The whole episode. I will tell you throughout. But we start, obviously, when I was still liking her. Because I was personally a fan of the comment. Because Teresa was coming at her so hard. You got to defend yourself. So I like the comment, as I said last week.
Teresa did not like the comment. No. She stormed to bed. And Joe follows her upstairs. Joe Gorga, the Growing with Gorga, follows her upstairs. And she's like, go F yourself. She locked herself in the room. She's like, I don't want to come out and talk to you. And Joe cuts to his confessional, and he's like, I stick up for my sister. If I were to expect her to do the same for me, it would be just insane. She does not stick up for me ever. I stick up for her, but there's only so much I can do. Yeah. She wants it both ways. I'm over it. Like, he's like, I'm done. Yeah, he walks downstairs. Fair,
because
whatever.
They kind of alluded to it last episode, and they get a little bit more into it now. It's like, Teresa had, is it Teresa or Teresa?
Teresa, if you're Italian, but we're not Italian, so we're like Teresa.
Okay, so Teresa.
Are you really gonna start saying it like this now? Guys, I think, did you see the video of, sorry, this is actually relevant. Did you see the video of Hannah Berner from Summer House the first time she ever interviewed Teresa Giudice?
No.
And she got nervous, and it was like a thing for Betches. She was working for them, and they were doing a workout video. And she goes, and I'm here today with Teresa Giudice. Like, it was something like the way she said it last name. And Teresa was like, huh?
Isn't it Teresa Giudice?
It's... What is happening here, guys? I'm leaving. Bye.
Okay, anyways, I'll go back to Tree.
Yes, Tree. Tree, shut up. That's like you go back to your Gorga's super masculine voice.
Okay, back to Tree.
So
anyways, Tree was not standing up for her brother with Joe Giudice. He was like saying stuff about them, and Tree was like not standing up for her. And so Joe's like, why do you always expect us to stand up for you when you don't even stand up for us with your ex-husband?
And to add on to that, at that dinner, she was going so hard, and you should apologize. You should apologize. You should apologize. He didn't try to take my money. And it was just like, do you know how much shit he's done?
Yeah, he didn't have to take your money. He took your years of your life.
He took our mom.
Made my reputation, dad sick. Blah, blah. But while Joe's upstairs, I think one of the awkwardest things I've seen happen.
Can I just do it? Because I know what you're about to say. Can I just do it? Your husband's an asshole. That's what Jackie says. Is that what you're going to say?
Yes.
Jackie says to Margaret. I would have been like, hold up. Like,
you want to fight?
Like, you're not going to talk about my man. I can call him an asshole. You're not going to call him an asshole.
But also there's ways to say, be like, oh, I just am so upset that your husband talked about that at guys' night. Blah, blah, blah. But she was like, your husband's an asshole. I'll never talk to him again.
The way she whispered it, it was so, mean. It was so, he's a real dirty asshole. That's how I felt. She was
not a dirty asshole. My God, Cassidy.
Turned into an ASMR podcast. I got really close there. I just feel like Jackie became very unstable at this moment. She went off.
Unstable? You mean unhinged?
Breakdown. She went off the railroads. Like she says to Joe Bonino, I want nothing to do with you. You spread out there about my husband. And she starts crying. I don't even know what's going on. In hindsight, maybe she was just really drunk. Because she probably had 2 glasses of Prosecco and was just hammered. Are you choking?
Sorry, no. Okay, you said off the railroads.
Not the railroads.
And I immediately thought of Railroads, the restaurant that they literally used to go to 5 times a season. Do you remember when Teresa?
We're not doing this all night. We're not doing this for the rest of the season. I don't know. Are you Italian now? Just because you banged an Italian guy once, it doesn't make you Italian. Are you Italian by ejection?
I have part Italian in me.
Part Italian, so sì, sopra sera.
No, it's just they used to go to this Railroads restaurant all the time.
I do remember that.
And it was just on a train track, and they're like, we love railroads or whatever.
I do remember that.
Just whatever you said, off the railroads. I was like, at that restaurant?
And then you started dreaming about the cheese sticks that you see them eat there.
1,000%.
But back to
Jersey.
Jackie, Marge, and the biggest drama of the season that we've laughed through this whole time somehow. Melissa storms out and hold on, I wrote Melissa storms out and gets in a beef with Melissa, which is definitely not what I meant by any means. I had a few drinks when I watched this episode, okay? But Jackie and Marge make up, okay? They get to
they're fine,
they hug it out. It was a quick your husband's an asshole, I'm sorry, apology. They make up. Teresa comes back downstairs and she gets into it with Melissa. Melissa is you never stick up for us with Joe, is kind of the whole crux of this huge blow up. And Gorga gets going. He slams his fist on the table. And I wrote down word for word what he said. He said, you're going to defend him? Fuck that piece of shit. He put my mother in a grave, slamming the table. Chilling.
It is
Edgar Allan Poe couldn't have written it better himself.
Because Joe Gorga is so dramatic. But in this moment, it was it was coming through
raw,
him. Yeah.
It was real. It was the passion.
He got red.
I think it's Teresa... Not a little meatball. Teresa, I feel will go and go and go and go at Joe until Joe blows up, and then she takes it very seriously, and it's no more messing around. She's it's a temper like my father had.
Yeah.
At that point, it is real hardcore. I get it. They make up at that point.
Well,
I think Teresa was I'm not letting it go any further.
How quickly they made up. I was I'm actually into it. It's you have a nice blow up, get your emotions out, and then make right up.
Gorga said in his interview, there isn't a man on this earth that's taking taken more from me than Joe Giudice. There's not a man on this earth that's taken more than me.
Cassidy, there's something on your mind.
I really think I do. I don't know what's wrong with me right now.
Jersey does something to you.
I really does. It's Big Ham Linky. I've seen him a few times at this point. What up, Frank?
I can't wait for the Big Ham Linky
moment
of the week.
What up, Frankie Catania? But they make up. Guys, I lived for the fact when Dolores came out and was like, there's nothing your parents wanted more in this world than you two to get along. Dolores is the Teresa whisperer. It's almost like she translates her, like,
I agree with you on that
no
one.
one ever knows what Teresa is saying except Dolores. She's like such a good, loyal friend, and she's just like, I get her.
Okay,
I get you.
This is where I have sometimes a problem with Dolores,
she's too loyal.
because it's not that too loyal. I love a loyal friend, but I think there are times where Dolores, as much as she is the person that, like, can say truths to Tree, she also lets her get away with a lot.
I do think that, but also, like, at the end of the day, it's her best friend, and that's what best friends can do sometimes. But yeah, she could rein her in a little bit.
I think she does
rein her in a little bit sometimes. Like,
you think?
I do. I think not a lot.
I hear you. I get what you're saying, but it's just I feel like there was a part where she was like, "Well, Tree." Oh, actually, we'll get to it because.
Well, I'm just thinking about last week, for example. There are some situations where, like, you could be with your best friend and you can get each other riled up. But I really felt like whenever Teresa wanted to make it a whole thing, making the dildo up your ass comment to Jackie, when Dolores is like, all right, you done? You good now? Like, that was a good friend. She wasn't like,
you got it,
yeah, let's get her. Let's go do this.
True.
Yeah, she was like, all right, girl, you done? Like,
I'll say a little bit more in a second why I say that, but you're right for the most part. I agree with that because Dolores, I love Dolores, and I think she's a great friend to treat.
Yeah.
I just think sometimes when you're that good of friends with someone,
you're blind to something.
A little bit, yeah.
No, that's I get it. But they're in the car. They're headed back to, because this party was at Dolores's. The people who are staying in the other house get a car to go back, and Jackie's a mess the whole time. She gets inside and calls Evan, and is like, Evan, like, everything blew up tonight. Like, if you get here tomorrow and she starts to go at you and, like, puts us in a bad place, then, like, we will get together and we will leave. And I was like, can I get that, like, in writing? Like, you promised to leave? Like, will you hop on a jet ski and go?
So I'm actually, as I was telling y'all, I'm going to give you a play-by-play or an episode update where I'm at with Jackie.
Yeah.
Currently very low.
Okay.
I did not like that she was crying so much because I was like, Tree was coming for her, but, like, okay, hold yourself together. Don't let her get to you.
If you know this isn't true, why is it affecting you like that?
So the whole crying and, like, having, like, a panic attack was a little, like, a little much for me. So I'm on a low right now. I'm on a low.
Okay, you're low at this point.
Yes.
Okay. Then they go to bed. Everyone goes to sleep. I think Joe and Melissa. There's too many Joes on this show. That's where I get thrown off. I'm like, Joe. That's why I try to say grow with Gorga, Benino.
And my man's name is Joe. It's hard.
Your man's name's Joe. We got a lot of Joes going on in this house. A lot of Joes in my brain. You know? Joe on the brain. But they're laying in bed the next morning, and Grow with Gorga is like, I can't go back to that place with my sister. We've got to keep it positive. We've got to keep it moving. And Big Ham Linky and Dolores are talking in the kitchen as well. And Dolores is making it very clear that she does not think Evan is coming in peace that day to come join the crew. She's like, I'm nervous. I don't think it's going to be good.
And that's a valid assumption. Yes. But I do have to say, if he was a little bit angry, is he wrong? Like, I don't know. It's like, the rumor, whether it be true, whether it not be true. It's like, people are still talking about my life personally, like my personal life on TV. I would probably be a little bit heated.
But you're a housewife. That's what happens.
Oh, no, for sure.
Like, if you don't want to come on and
but
have
also,
a
if you're a housewife, you're expected to kind of speak up for yourself, too.
True.
And, you know, especially on New Jersey, house husbands, as I'm just going to call them, house husbands, are all in the drama.
Always.
So, if a husband is heated and he says he's heated, that's exactly what Jersey is.
You're going into my next point perfectly. I thought it was a very weird comment whenever they were laying by the pool waiting for, like, the other house to get, because they're going to hang out at Melissa's that day. And go
this is Melissa's pool day.
This is Melissa's pool day. I thought it was odd when Jackie was like, I'm just worried about Evan losing it on Teresa. I was like, I don't think I'd ever have to worry about my man losing it on my girlfriend.
Well, that's a weird way to say it. So I didn't hear that.
She literally said, I don't want him to lose it on Tree.
See, I don't stand for that, because it's like losing it on
like a woman.
Or just really anyone in general. I personally just like violence in general is like a no-go, whatever sex it is, but like, especially if it's like, not to make it gendered, but like a woman's fight should stay a woman's fight. I agree with that. But like, I think he could come in and be like, I wasn't happy with what you did.
Yeah.
Like, you can still, because that's what annoyed me a little bit with Tree, because Jackie, you know, this whole time she's been like, I want him to apologize, or I want her to apologize to Evan. And she's like, I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to be with him. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm like, you can go up to him and say sorry. It's not a male-female thing, I don't think.
But...
Of course, because she talks shit about him. Of course she doesn't want to.
Yeah,
but I don't think that at that point it's not a male-female thing. It's like I was a shitty person and I made up a rumor,
well, she didn't make it
but we don't know if it's true or not. So at this point, it's still a rumor or a gossip. Let's just say
I'm
gossip.
not saying, but I'm saying she didn't make it up. She heard it, which I still think from Margaret. Just saying.
Honestly, you're probably
not
wrong.
We'll get into it,
you're not wrong.
That's my
But thought. I just don't like that it does become like Teresa keeps saying like, well, a man shouldn't be in our business. But I'm like, but the thing is, you're talking about him.
She really is that old school mentality though, and she's like, we shouldn't talk.
And she's like, Jackie should get her man correct, and I'm like, I think Jackie is trying to, but
this kind of goes into the next thing because
I'm happy I'm giving.
You are giving things that like go all into my next point. Gorga says he called Teresa and says, you need to promise to let it go with Jackie because we're having this thing for no. Like, I want you to let it go. Be peaceful. She's like, okay. Dolores came up to Teresa and was like, I really think you need to apologize to Evan. And she's like, I just don't want to talk to him and apologize. And Dolores says, I understand why she doesn't want to talk to Evan. She is the reaction that she always got from Joe Giudice when she had an argument with him is her basis on how it is with men. And then it shows the flashbacks of Teresa in the vineyard when he calls her, see you next Tuesday.
To like the
way he told her to shut up all the time.
They always said he was cheating on her with.
Yes. The way he spoke to her, the way he would tell her to shut up all the time, that is the reaction that she's used to getting from a man. So I thought that was kind of poignant when Dolores said that. It made sense. But Bill and Jennifer are sitting there, and Bill's like, well, I guess I probably shouldn't have let slip what happened at Boys' Night and told you, because this has stirred up a little bit of drama. I mean... I think maybe this is why I said riding away on a jet ski earlier, because the next part, Jackie says, I swear if Teresa comes in hot, I might get on the jet ski and ride away. And I was like, okay. She's like, y'all will never see this face again. It reminds me of Teresa. Oh, no, Teresa, when Tamara was running away in Bali, you will never see this face again.
And did we see Tamara's face again? A shit ton more.
Oh, a billion more times. But Teresa comes in not hot. She comes in the opposite. She apologizes to Jackie.
I mean,
which
she
shows
listened.
Me Gorga is the only one that can get through to her.
I agree.
Her brother is the only one that will ever be able to get her to be rational. Because even her bestie Dolores couldn't get her to come to that realization. So.
But I will say, she, like, whenever they show up, she immediately pulls Jackie aside and says, like, I'm sorry, blah, blah. The weakest fucking apology I've ever heard.
It was like, all right, sorry.
Literally. And this is why I say it was annoying, because Dolores was like, well, she apologized. I'm just so proud of her for this. And I'm like, she did not really apologize. She was just like, I'm sorry you felt that way about, like, life. Bye.
At the end of the day.
She doesn't tell me that at all, but, like, that's just what I pictured.
At the end of the day, Tree and Jackie are never going to be best friends. So if what Jackie needed in her consciousness was just a sorry from Teresa, she got it at the end of the day. And that's
I know, but it was also a little bit of whiplash whenever, because now they go on the jet skis, they go on the boat, and Tree goes on the boat. Well, actually, Evan shows up. Sorry, we didn't say that.
Yeah,
Evan gets there.
Teresa says hi and apologizes, and Jackie's like, we're letting it all go. We're moving forward. We're good. Yeah. So that's that. I guess it might be the end of that drama this season.
And that's why I say whiplash, because then they go on the boat and they go on the jet skis, and Tree, Evan, Jackie are on the same boat.
She's like taking their couples
their picture. She's like, make out, have fun, do this. And I'm just like, okay, I get an apology and I get you being nice, but like I can't handle now that we're just like,
all right, we're good.
I can't handle it.
But I think it's what needed to happen, unless it wanted to become a loosey apple juicy and be the drama for the rest of the season.
You know my thoughts on that.
I'm glad that it was. Hopefully it's wrapped up. Hopefully they're all good.
It was just more like, Tree, you can't keep saying that you're not going to apologize, you're not going to be nice to her again, and then literally do a 180 and never been nicer.
Yeah, it was a bit odd.
And this is actually, you know what? But I actually like Jackie in this moment. Okay. Because she accepted the
apology.
She let it go.
You have to like Jackie and Teresa in that moment, though. Because like they let it go and they were both good.
I guess you're right. So I'll give them both credit. But like Jackie went from being like a literally mental breakdown the night before to being like, okay, this is fun, Tree. I'm going to accept it. Let's have a fun time.
She really just wanted that apology.
So I have to like respect it.
She wanted that apology, and she wanted to just be good after that.
And everyone always says like people are scared of Tree. I don't think Jackie's scared of Tree. She can't handle Tree, but she's not scared of her.
No, I don't think she's scared of it either. Or she
and I like
have
that.
Gone at her back so hard.
And I like that. We have to have someone that stands up to Tree.
I agree. But Jackie and Marge.
Oh, just saying, it doesn't stop.
I was like, wait, do you have something else?
Oh,
Is this
no,
not what we want to go into?
It was more like a...
He was like, I thought he was like, stop, I have a drink in my mouth.
No.
Okay.
It was more like, yeah, because the episode doesn't stop.
The drama keeps going.
Yeah.
Jersey is absolutely bringing it. Jackie and Marge are telling Jennifer that she's a shit stirrer and she stirred up everything the night before. And I was like, oh God, here we go again. The way you treated your husband last night was embarrassing, is what Jen says to Marge. Ooh!
Fighting words. Again, we're bringing in relationships. I agree, though,
because we didn't even say that part, really. We didn't really talk about exactly what was said. But whatever, the comment was made, like, your husband's an asshole, whenever Jackie got into that. Like, Margaret went ballistic on Joe Bonino. She was like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, why are you talking about this? Why are you spreading this? Like, blah, blah, blah. She went crazy on Bonino. I was like, hold on. I felt so bad for him. So but he didn't.
I might be the psycho in my relationship. We know I am. I don't know if I would react that way, but I would be very pissed if I found out my man's went and told other people something that I told him in confidence.
He didn't tell other people. He said he had heard it before. The question went around. He said he'd heard it before.
But you know,
I feel bad for little Bonino.
But you know, in the relationship, it's like Margaret knows that she told Joe.
Yeah.
Like this, at least we think.
Yeah.
So then you hear that he kind of like loosely betrays. Betrays is a strong word.
Yeah.
I don't think he betrayed her, but like he went and told other people, and Margaret's like, that was supposed to be between us.
I think he really didn't like mean to be malicious by it. Like you're
I don't think so either.
But it came out
that
way.
I would have been pissed too.
Okay, well that's fair. That I didn't really think about it that way.
Just because it feels like a little bit of like, hey, I gave you this nugget.
Why did you go and spread it?
Why did you go spread it? And now I have to be here because I've been taking up Jackie this whole time. Then I get to find out that it's from you.
I do feel like, though, that should have been handled in private. I didn't like the way that he started, like, she started chastising him immediately right there. Like, what the fuck's wrong with it? Like, going crazy on him. Like, I didn't like that.
But are we surprised by that relationship dynamic?
I think she has him on a leash, basically. And, like, she calls the shots.
Yeah.
But Margaret responds with, the way you behave in front of your husband, you embarrass your entire family, you're a sloppy drunk. I was like, oh, fuck off, Marge. And then Jen responds with, yeah, you're sloppy, you slept with your boss. And I was like, oh, fuck off, Jen. I was just like,
no one was right in this fight. No one was right in this fight.
Like, Margaret is like, you are like a concubine over there. Like, you just spend your husband's money as your sugar daddy.
Well, she was essentially like, you married Bill so he could take care of your entire family.
Also, like, how are you going to say he's your sugar daddy when you have 5 children with him? You have, like, given the man 5 children. She works her ass off at home. The fact that, like, Margaret's trying to, like, say some type of shitty thing towards Jennifer, I did not like. But Jennifer, the way she was going at Margaret was not right either. So like you just said, neither one of them were winning in this argument.
No, it was dumb. No. I didn't like it. I honestly didn't like Jen more in this fight, weirdly. Because I did think that, like, Margaret did tell her something, or the group something that was, like, very, like, sensitive to her about, like, when she was 20, she was impressionable. That whole thing. And, like, throwing someone's, like, insecurities like, or, like, personal like, things in their face is one thing. Margaret saying, like, oh, you married your husband for money. It's, like, different. Cause it's, like, who cares about that? You're still married. You have 5 kids. You have a great life. Great. But to bring up, like, Margaret's, like, trauma is a little bit below the belt, I would say.
I think that they both were equally wrong, though. Because I think it's a little bit below the belt when it's, like, culturally, like, Jennifer, like, you know, who's, like, arranged marriages and these things like that. I don't think she realizes just how deep it is when she's cutting Jennifer in that way. That's actually a good point, too. Yeah. So I think it's kind of both. But it kind of ends the episode on, like, that's why you have no friend, Jen. Like, you're an asshole. No one wants to be around you. But I'm really excited for
Jersey.
We got a mid-season trailer because do not think that I forgot. I am doing a Big Ham Leaky moment of the week right now.
I literally even said it like 10 minutes ago. I was like, where's our Big Ham Leaky moment of the week?
Big Ham Leaky moment of the week. He didn't really give me too much of this episode. There was one little thing I could have picked. I decided to just pick something out of the mid-season trailer.
I'll give you one, actually, after you give yours. Or should I give mine first?
Give yours first, because I'm just going on the
I will say the one thing I did like, it was right after the Jackie-Teresa fight, everyone left. He was the one doing the dishes. And Dolores is like, I never thought that we'd be sitting here and Frankie would be doing the dishes.
Oh my God, iconic. I guess I blinked in that moment. Or maybe I was like...
But do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't remember that scene.
Oh, yeah.
I have to go back and rewatch that because I probably would have.
He was just in the background doing the dishes as they were like recapping the fight.
Iconic. I live for Big Ham Leaky.
Yeah, so that's my Big Ham Leaky moment of the week.
I love that you came with one. I have never been prouder in my entire life. Mine, is whenever Gorga is twerking on him in the mid-season trailer at the very beginning, and Frank responds with, I've got to say I've eaten much better ass than that before. Boom! Big Ham Linky moment, and I'm sure I will also pick that as that moment whenever the actual episode airs. But that is what I'm giving to a Big Ham this week.
We'll elaborate on that.
100%.
Big Ham Linky moment of the week.
100%. It was mine.
God, that is a sexy comment if I've ever heard one.
Oh, Chase is turned on. Now Jersey does it to us. Well, I think that was this week's episode. The mid-season trailer looks great. I cannot wait. And thank you guys.
I'm excited.
For joining us this week.
Yeah, thanks guys. Fun. It was a fun week. We will see you next week for more Reality Wind Down.
Yes, cheers.
And before the cheers, as I'm going to keep saying, I'm going to keep hawking ourselves. I'm going to keep talking about ourselves, saying that we need 5 stars. If y'all like our podcast.
I thought Chase was announcing his pregnancy there. I was like, what is happening?
You're the one that has the newest child.
Oh, I do have that. You're right.
Exactly. So,
please.
I'm not announcing my pregnancy yet. But I would love a 5-star baby.
Baby!
So if you're enjoying our podcast, take a second, rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. It does help. We love it. We love you. Cheers to that.
Cheers. See you guys next week.
Bye.